5 Minutes for Men. Nichols here with 5 Minutes for Men, where we have discussions about things that men talk about amongst themselves. Today, I want to talk about uncles, right? I'm an uncle. I have uncles. I wasn't raised by my father. I was mostly raised by a single mother. So for me, what I realized as I became and grew into my own manhood is that my uncles had a very influential impact in terms of what kind of man I became. They mostly all kind of lived close within the city I lived in or neighboring cities. So most of them were able to come over and visit my mom and me and my sister periodically to check in on us to make sure we were good. And during those times, that's when I got the most input from them. And periodically, they may also have lived with us periodically on and off too as well. So that is really helpful in terms of having a consistent male role model around to give guidance and for me to be able to watch other men be men, right? One of my uncles was a hairdresser, and he probably had the most influence on one of my other uncles who was closer to age to me, right? He's maybe like 10, 11 years older than me. So he's probably the most influential because he was closer to my age. He was more like a big brother uncle kind of combo. So go back to my other uncle. The one who was the hairdresser had a huge influence in terms of how to be a man's man, and it's hard how to figure out how to say that. He had a lot of influence on his little brother, who then had influence on me about what it means to be a man and how to be a man in the world, how you kind of carry yourself in a certain way. And then one of my other uncles, who happened to be married, had a huge influence as well. So he's showing me. So I have quite a few uncles actually. So I got a chance to be influenced by the married uncle, the college-going uncle, the hairdresser uncle, the cowboy uncle, then the actor, musician uncle, all these influences to help guide me along the route of what it means, and to have all these different examples of what it means to be a man was very influential in my life. So now that I'm in the uncle position, I try to do uncle things, but what I realize is I'm very focused on my own children. I try to be a good uncle when I'm around my nieces and nephews, but the level of influence that I know uncles have, I know I can be doing a better job, right? Especially knowing the impact that my uncles had on me. And that influence is higher because I didn't have my father. So I think what I'm trying to do with my own children is be more of what that is, so that it's not to take away from the influence of their uncles, but I guess in a way it may make the impact of their uncles more influential because they have their father, if you follow my logic on that. But my uncles have shaped me greatly in terms of being raised, especially by a single mom who put a lot into me being raised a certain way. But there's only so much she could show me about being a man. She could show me and influence me in a way of what her thought process of what a man should be. But it definitely took my uncles to show me as men move, right? Me watching them move in the world and do things was more influential on me in some ways than me hearing what I should be doing, me watching what they're doing, and then mimicking certain things that I saw them do, for good or for bad, was very influential. So if you are an uncle, or if you have uncles, comment below about your favorite uncle or some of the things that really influenced you from your uncles. And if you are one yourself, talk about some of the things that you like to try to pass down to your nieces or nephews. 5 minutes for men. TR Nichols here with 5 minutes for men. Have a discussion.